Just because you're not getting served shit doesn't mean you're fine dining, folks. It actually genuinely baffles me that this movie has managed to slip past the usual public smell test, being praised for its compelling story and interesting characters. I really don't get it. Did we all watch a different movie or something? Has the main marker for story quality really become how hard you can simp for the main characters? Because I feel we can do way better than that. Just because this is a sequel doesn't mean you have to do the exact same movie all over again, just less interesting. For any disaster movie, all you really need are some characters that deal with it in interesting ways. And I don't mean live streaming it. Speaking of characters though, let's start with them, since they're one of the big praises of this movie.
This next point you've probably heard a whole lot lately, but I do have to repeat it because it is very, very true. Glenn Powell is just a next level big screen charmer.
Yep, I agree. Glenn Powell is a charming actor. Owen Wilson was charming in Loki too, and it really didn't mean anything.
He's just all around great in this, couldn't be better, but the same is also true of Daisy Edgar-Jones, who deserves a whole lot of credit for her work in this as well.
Ooh, I wouldn't go that far. She is serviceable in this movie, but her performance is quite static and uninteresting, if you ask me. She's not at OSHA levels of acting, thank God, but a little more effort would have been appreciated. And her chemistry with Glenn isn't really groundbreaking either. Their banter at the beginning felt just as awkward as their forced romance at the end, and although they really tried, I just couldn't buy that these people actually liked each other. It felt more like hot guy, hot girl in a movie type syndrome, you know? Supporting cast felt just the same. Evil property owner guys were evil for the sake of being evil. The hippie storm chasers were just weird. The townspeople were just retarded and wouldn't drive away. You know, the usual stuff.
When it comes to the supporting ensemble of Twisters now, I found that everyone made a pretty big impression and they all established a really enjoyable group dynamic. In fact, it reminded me a lot of the 1996 cast, where even if someone only has mere minutes of screen time, they wind up delivering a memorable character.
Really? Memorable? So if I asked you to recall like 3 of their names, you'd be able to do it? X'd out. Also, why did they try to make Dr. Pershing's girlfriend sound like she was a southern gal? That was the funniest part of the whole movie, to be honest. Now let's address this magnificent story. Ignoring the fact that everyone here is dumb for thinking they could just drive into an F5 tornado and be totally chill, this opening doesn't even do it that well anyway. They do the whole, oh, we're a quippy group of friends and we really like each other and we're gonna on this adventure, even though no one on God's green earth talks like that. But thankfully they all die quickly so we can move on. Then we jump ahead a few years and they do the same boring retired action hero trope that we've all seen a million times. Action hero, I have a mission for you. You know, I just haven't been the same since that one op in Bangladesh. Well, this is your chance to redeem yourself for that mistake. I just can't stand the thought of losing another brother in combat. But isn't it what Jesse would have wanted? Don't you dare tell me what Jesse would have wanted. I'm so sorry. Well, here's my card. Give me a call if you change your mind. Don't hold your breath. And then she still ends up giving him the call. Wow, how subversive and groundbreaking. So she goes to meet all the other storm chasers at a gas station, and then they set out to catch their first storm. And what do you know, our out-of-retirement action hero fails on her first attempt. Never seen that before. She eventually finds her footing though, besting Glenn Powell in a storm chase and gaining his respect. Their relationship is solidified when the giant fuck-off tornado shows up at a rodeo they're attending. Then after spending what felt like 3 hours at her mom's house, they finally come up with a plan and go back out to fight the final boss storm. There's a big emphasis on needing to shepherd the town people to safety, even though they live here so they should know exactly what to do if this sort of thing happens. Seriously, this is like Hawaiian people not knowing what to do during a tsunami. But everyone who doesn't get away decides to hide in a movie theater, which gets torn to shreds. And then just when all hope is lost, Kate goes in the tornado, releases the chemical goo stuff, and saves the day. And that's it. The only thing that makes this movie stand out from all the other ones that are coming out is that it isn't total shit. But other than that, there's nothing memorable or special about it. It's got some neat special effects, but it also cost $200 million to make, so I would hope so. The cast doesn't seem like they hate everyone, so that's a big plus. And unlike many of the sequels we get nowadays, it doesn't seem like it wants to directly disrespect its predecessor, which is always appreciated. But I still feel like we should be striving for better than average. Really good stories that will stick with us for way longer than 2 hours in the theater. While this is definitely a step in the right direction, I think we still have a very long road ahead of us before we reach any kind of cinematic jubilation. Okay, bye!
And if you feel it,